Welcome to Market Matters. I'm Sulhi, Azman, and she's Nadia Hassan. It is the edition of Wednesday, 17th February 2016. So Nadia, Google today honored someone in the medical industry.
Yeah, stethoscope inventor. I know you're just going to make me say this name. René Théophile Hyacinthe-Lenec. He apparently made the stethoscope, and the way, if he actually had been alive, miraculously, he would have been 235. So invented it because apparently in Paris, when you didn't have this, what you did was you put your heart to your patient's chest. And he was treating this lady who was apparently quite rotund and quite buxomly. So he felt it would be kind of rude, so he made a tube and listened to it that way, and a few years later we're still using the same device.
Yeah, what a gentlemanly act there, you know, and of course this device has been proving very good for these people. Anyway, let's have a look at the market today. The market, FBM KLCI closed down 0.67 points and the trade at 1,664 points, and this by any means is a flat close really, because the number is quite small despite slight recovery in the oil price for both WTI and Brent crudes. Now, the most actively traded stocks today was Vivocom International Holdings Berhad, which was previously known as the Instacom Group Berhad, with 118 million shares traded.
You wonder what's going on there, because of course Instacom hasn't had exactly the cleanest kind of, well, they've been having a bit of trouble for it. And yeah, definitely I think the KLCI, after 2 days of green, some impressive green, it's no surprise that today I think some people probably would take some money off the table, especially since if you look at the ASEAN market in general, it was all very, very much red. Asian stocks fell on South Korea's won. Of course, the big thing that the big talk and Chuang and Charlotte touched on it yesterday was that the Russians and the Arabs are actually meeting to halt production, because even they realize that this game is lunacy. You know, yes. It's like how at 27, 26 per barrel, you know, and no new production coming out, how long can it last? But saying that right, Suhi, do you know in the States, they're making so much oil that they're running out of places to store it? They're literally running out of places to store it. How long can this lunacy go on?
Yeah, and I think they made a very, quite a good decision there, you know, in doing so. And
but it's not a cut in production.
It's a freeze, it's a halt.
It's a halt. Whether that's going to work, analysts don't seem to be very, very convinced.
Yeah, correct. And we'll talk about it later on because we're going to look at the Nikkei today. Nikkei closed 1.36% to 15,836 points, while you know, this was on the fact that Japan's core machinery orders rose at a slower than expected pace in December, but companies expect the orders to accelerate in the first quarter of this year, and encouraging signs that industry is increasing to spend. Now, how does the Chinese market looks today, Nadia?
Shanghai is actually up about 1.08% after, of course, the long holiday break, 2,867 points. But yeah, it's a big thing.
It is. Now, if you look at the, just a quick one on the, back on the oil, I think in Media research today, it says that the Malaysian government recalibrated budget still going to make sense, because the oil price is expected to be rebound and to a range that is about 30 to 35 US dollars per barrel. But Goldman Sachs, Nadia, they say that while there remains high uncertainty, the details of this agreement, such as freezing, will have little impact on the oil market as proposed.
As we were mentioning, the fact is they're not cutting production, and there's a lot of things to kind of go through, mostly because this is the first time OPEC and non-OPEC countries have sit there and gone together. But Russia has known not to play ball. They said, yes, we agree with you, we will do it, and then go behind your back and not do the right thing. So Vladimir Putin's word is probably worth as much as he can throw, which I heard is actually quite a lot. But never mind. But it's not going to be the panacea, but it already supported price, because how long can this go on?
Yeah, and I think, you know, Putin hopefully is trying to make some sensible decisions there. But anyway, moving on.
Putin and sensible? Okay. Yeah. You can keep hoping. Well, you can keep hoping, man.
Yes, hoping. Anyway, looking at the things that are moving on the boards today, we have UEM, Sunrise Berhad, and Mulpha International Holdings Berhad. Now, UEM today closed 4.17% higher at RM1, while Mulpha International was up impressive 13.46% to 29.5 cents. Now, Nadia, these two companies are embarking on a joint venture in this land called Iskandar, Malaysia.
Yeah, well, they actually essentially got married, didn't they?
Yeah.
So they are forming this JV company to develop these 3 parcels of land in Iskandar. GDV is something like 5 billion, and talk about long marriage, it's actually supposed to be around 20 years, this development. And I think the price rise, probably, although the analysts were middling to okay on it, was because UAM Sunrise, the share price has actually fallen about 22% since November 2015. Mulpha also 26% since March last year. So maybe people were just looking as well for what to buy. And this seems like a positive news for them because, as with most marriages, apparently these guys have worked together before and it did work out well.
Yeah, correct. And if you look at the land bank that they're going to develop, it's actually quite interesting because it is next to Mulpha's leisure farm gated development, and it's also very close to one of the highways which push up the price. Anyway, the proposal scenario was met with positive reactions from many analysts. Kenanga Research Sarah Lim said that the deal makes sense because UAM is trying to increase its options to realise its assets, particularly in expediting the Gerbang Nusa Jaya developments, and they have a market perform on UAM Sunrise, but lowered the target price to RM1.07 from RM1.20 previously.
Yeah, but Alliance DBS were not that impressed. They said a whole, the target price is 120, but they said the target price is under review. If you actually look at the earnings of both the companies, UAM Sunrise, both down on top and bottom line. The company is highly geared, but of course it has a lot of unbilled sales standing at 4.1 billion. The story is similar with Mulpha as well. Yes,
correct. And if you look at the Mulpha International, by the way, which owns some stakes in Muda Jaya Guru Berhad, just our neighbours in our office there, the earnings are actually quite alright, I suppose. I mean, not really alright, but it was down for both UAM
Top line was terrible.
And Mulpha International. Yes, 41%. Plunge in revenue for Mulpha, and net profit was down 15.9%, while UAM Sunrise was down 33% and revenue was 25%. But just to take it all home, you know, UAM Sunrise and Mulpha International today both went up on partnering for a 5 billion ringgit development project in Iskandar, Malaysia.